Welcome back to Jack of All Games Tabletop. I'm Dave Wallace, and it's time to talk about miniatures again. Instead of doing my normal, kind of certain kind of painting tips for noobs, I thought that maybe might be a good time to make sure I can deliver the goods and show you that I can kind of get through. I'm not the level of some YouTube amazing miniature painters, but I think I do some pretty nice work, and so I wanted to make sure that I showed you something of what I do, and make sure that you see that I kind of know what I'm talking about. So most of this video, the second half of this video, won't be too long, but it's just going to be a montage of some of my favorite miniatures that I've painted. Some of them will be for my commission jobs, like Warhammer or board games, and the last part will just be some of my favorites, be in different scales. I mean, got like these ones that I do for myself are a bit on the larger side because I 3D print them, so I can kind of scale them up. Whereas it's compared to, like, this is a 28 millimeter. That's my wife's D&D character there. So. And then, like I said, you got some Warhammers that we'll put in there and stuff. And I'm just going to give you a nice, cool montage of some of my favorite stuff. But that being said, I always want to make sure there's something useful that you can gather from these videos as far as miniature painting and stuff. So I thought, just from looking at some of the different comments and, things that people post on different Facebook groups, that one bit of advice that I think would be helpful to a lot of people would be on getting a good photograph of your miniatures. If you want to present it to people, being honest, they never look as good in a photograph unless people are touching up the photographs, which you really shouldn't do. It's not going to help you if you want to get anywhere. But yeah, I mean, on eBay, I've got all kinds of comments on there of people saying, wow, these look way better in person. That's always going to be the case, hopefully. But you want to present a nice photograph as far as selling yourself. So I'm going to give you a really simple tip that'll help with that. So obviously, one of the first things you're going to need is a good way to take the photo. Most people have decent smartphones these days that have amazing photography abilities. In fact, on top of being a full-time professional tattoo artist and part-time miniature painter and other artistic endeavors, I am also a part-time professional photographer. This is actually a photo I took this weekend. It's one of the favorites I did with a professional model, Kylie, who's been on this show before. But as much as I have a lot of really nice cameras and photography equipment, most of my miniatures look best when I take the picture on the same phone which I'm recording this show on. I've tried this. I started off doing this YouTube channel with my nice Canon cameras, and somehow this just seems to work out better, cleaner, clearer. So if you have any kind of smartphone that has a halfway decent camera, you probably have the ability to take a really good photograph of your miniature. And when I use mine, I'm recording this, and I use this for my miniatures. It's a Samsung. Some people prefer iPhones. Whatever your choice is, those are the two most popular ones, and they have really nice cameras. And on this phone, when I put it into camera mode, I have a setting for a pro setting, and it allows me to use kind of a sliding dial to make my adjustments and to be able to see it as I'm looking at the model of what the photograph is going to look like. So mess around with your phone camera. You might have a lot more ability in there than you think, and to be able to get a decent balance when you're taking photos of your minis. Now, after that, what you're going to want is a good setting. And for the main tip that I'm going to show you at the end here, it doesn't have to be anything special. Just want to try as much as you can to eliminate the clutter behind it. Usually a darker background works best. I have one of these cheap little photo booths. I think I got it on Amazon. It actually has these little LEDs in here and this kind of curved background here. The LEDs in this thing suck. It's just cheap, you know. And this actually, I shouldn't say this too much. This is made by Green Stuff, but you know, just as far as light, it just didn't really work out that great. But because of the fact that this lid kind of opens up, I actually set this on my desk and set the Mini inside of here, and then I lower my LED lamp onto here and then just let this lid kind of rest on top of it. The reason that I like that is because this white plastic kind of bounces that light around in there. But something like this, especially like I said, with what I'm about to show you, is not really necessary as long as you got, like I said, not too much clutter. Because the thing that people really are usually amazed about is how black the background is in some of my photographs. And that's because I use an app to erase the background. I do not make any adjustments to the photograph itself. I don't try to make, you know, the highlights brighter or anything. As an artist, I know well that reputation as far as an artist is everything. So if you make things look absolutely neon by photoshopping it, and then they get them in and you're like, well, that doesn't look anything like the picture. That's going to be bad for your reputation. You want the opposite. You want them to be happy with it when they see the picture, and then when they get it in their hands, go, wow, it's even better. So don't mess with your photographs. Don't try to edit them. But as far as the background goes, this can make a big difference. I use this app called Photo Room. And basically, after I take a picture and put it into this Photo Room app, it has a little scan that it does over the photo. And it basically is trying to read the distance between things to find out what you want in the front, what you want in the back. And it just erases all the background. And I put it usually as a solid black. And this makes a big difference in making the brighter areas of your miniatures pop. A lot of them, you know, you got a lot of stuff that's got kind of greasy armor and dark materials and cloth and leather and stuff. And a lot of it, you know, you got to find your areas for highlights that are going to really pop. And especially if you do something with, like, you know, my larger one here where she's got this OSL, this lamp kind of shining on her, and you kind of see the highlights on here, and it looks pretty cool on here. But as far as a photograph goes, if I just took a photograph of it standing on my desk, it looks pretty cool. But if I erase the background, then suddenly those bright parts really gives that good effect as far as how the lighting works. So yeah, a good way to draw the eyes into the areas you want is just a solid black background. So yeah, go on, check. There's probably other apps out there as well. It's just a simple one that I use, and Photo just works really easy, and it's free. So yeah, why not? So yeah, that's just a couple little tips as far as making your presentation in a photograph form look pretty cool. You know, if you're spreading stuff online, and you know, I see a lot of people that take pictures and go, "Oh, this thing looks terrible." So get in tight with your smartphone camera. Eliminate the, you know, as much background as possible. Then put it in that app and blacken that background and make everything pop. And little practice, you'll make something really cool out of it. Okay, so like I said, let's deliver the goods here. So I'm just going to give you a montage, like I said, of a bunch of my miniatures that I've painted. It will start off with a Warhammer. These are all, I don't own any of these. These are all things I sold, painted and sold to other people. I also, the second section is also mostly stuff that I don't have. It was all jobs I was hired for painting board game miniatures. And then the last section is stuff that I've held on to. It's just, the little larger scale stuff like this that I just enjoyed, did for fun. So wanted you to check that out and let me know. Hey, you know what? If you're someone looking for a painter, you know, go ahead and message me if you're interested. Also, of course, you know, this is a montage. You got to have some good rock music. So it's been over 12, 13 years. But yeah, this music, much like the intro, is from my band Thorn Fetish that I played in. I was the vocalist and the bass player when we ended. So yeah, hope you enjoy it. If not, just turn the volume down and check out some miniatures. So that's going to be it for now. You guys enjoy this video, and I will see you next week.
sanity. The rolling seas and a devious fog. I shall awaken the ancient god. I hear it calling, there's no escape. The tentacles of a monstrous fate. The dreaded day when the stars align will be the ending of all mankind. I hear it calling, it's calling. I hear it calling me. I hear it calling, it's calling. It's fucking calling me. The great one, awakened dead, horror and fury that darken the sky. The ancient one now stands miles high. The fate of man is to be erased. They never worship the great one's name. Not dead, that which eternally lie. Through stranger eons, death may die. I hear it calling, it's calling. I hear it calling me. I hear it calling, it's calling. It's fucking calling me. Cannot be described. There is no language for such abysms of shrieking and immemorial lunacy, such eldritch contradictions of all matter, force, and cosmic order. The thing of the idols, the green, sticky spawn of the stars, has a weight to claim his own. The stars will rise again, and what an age-old cult had failed to do by design, a band of innocent sailors had done by accident. After vigintillions of years, great Cthulhu was loose again and ravening for delight. One more breath before we die.
Hey gamers, thanks again for watching. I really do appreciate all the support. It's one of the things I know that I can count on with the gaming community at large. This is of course to the point where I gotta ask you to like it, hit that subscribe button, and maybe share this with a friend. If you are a game designer, or maybe starting your own gaming company, and you want to do a little bit of cross promotion, maybe you got a prototype that you want me to check out and talk about on the show, definitely let me know. And of course, for all questions, suggestions, and corrections, there's all kinds of ways to get a hold of me. Probably the easiest one is just comment below. You can also send me an email at jackofallgamestt@gmail.com. The T stands for tabletop. And if you'd like to take a look at my commissioned miniature paint jobs, or even some of the other stuff in my life like photography or tattooing, which is what I do for my day job, go check it out on Instagram at Art of Wallace. Thanks again, and I'll see you in the next episode.